For dangerous salts, you should never touch, and for you, must eat daily. If you re over 60, they told you salt was the enemy. What if I told you that the white crystals in your kitchen cabinet hold secrets that could add 10 years to your life or steal them away? For decades, the food industry has lied to older adults, pushing healthy salts, while quietly removing the minerals your body needs to stay strong. They laced it with chemicals, stripped it of magnesium, replaced natural iodine with synthetic fillers. Why? Because cheap salt sells fast. And no one questions it, especially seniors. Doctors kept saying, just use less salt. But they never said what kind of salt was actually healing, and which ones speed up memory loss, brittle bones, and dangerous hormone crashes. Today we're pulling back the curtain. In this video, we will reveal the 4 worst salts that could be draining your energy and harming your brain, and the 4 you must use daily to protect your heart, muscles, and hormones. Make sure you stay until the number 1 worst salt. It's literally linked to a 38% higher risk of cognitive decline in adults over 60, yet it's still sold in almost every supermarket. Before we dive in, let me ask you 2 crucial questions. First, have you noticed unusual fatigue or muscle cramps lately that your doctor can't explain? Second, are you taking blood pressure medication while still consuming the very salts that neutralize its effects? Drop your answers in the comments below, because we're rereading and replying to each and every comment with personalized tips and advice. Now, let's begin with number 4, because this one is fooling millions of seniors every single day. Salt no. For number 4, flavored table salt like garlic salt or onion salt. Flavored salts, which are table salt mixed with artificial flavorings, might seem harmless, but they are often packed with chemical additives that can harm your health in surprising ways. Many of these salts contain monosodium glutamate, which is a compound that overstimulates nerve cells and has been linked to increased blood pressure spikes and migraines in older adults. The flavorings are often synthetic, and the salt used as the base is usually highly refined sodium chloride, which is stripped of all minerals that the body needs. When seniors consume these regularly, the body is flooded with sodium without potassium, magnesium or calcium, which are the minerals that balance out blood pressure and heart rhythms, according to a study published in the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology. Older adults who consume over 2.5 grams of refined salt per day have a 28% higher risk of developing systolic hypertension compared to those who use mineralbalanced salts. To make things worse, these flavored salts are designed to stimulate appetite, which can lead to overeating and higher sodium intake overall. For seniors dealing with reduced kidney function or fluid retention, this can cause swelling, fatigue, and even congestive heart failure over time. A better alternative is to use fresh herbs combined with unrefined sea salt, which is a form of salt that still contains trace minerals and no artificial additives. To safely flavor your meals, mix herbs like garlic, rosemary, or onion with pink Himalayan salt, which is a salt that contains over 80 trace minerals, including potassium and iron. This way you add taste while giving your body salt. No. 3. Support, not strain. Number 3. Kosher salt. Kosher salt might seem cleaner or pure due to its name and texture, but it's often a deceptive choice for seniors. Most kosher salts are nothing more than large-grain versions of refined table salt, which is a type of salt that has had all its natural minerals removed during processing. The wide grains make people think they are using less, but in reality, the irregular shape leads to uneven distribution and accidental overuse. This is dangerous for seniors because sodium levels affect not just blood pressure, but also fluid balance, nerve function, and heart rhythm. Study in hypertension research found that elderly individuals who consumed over 3 grams of refined salt daily had a 33% higher incidence of left ventricular hypertrophy, which is a dangerous thickening of the heart muscle that raises the risk of stroke and heart failure. A kosher salt also lacks iodine unless it is fortified. An iodine deficiency, especially in women over 60, can cause thyroid slowdown, which leads to weight gain, fatigue, cold intolerance, and even hair thinning. Instead of kosher salt, seniors should choose a finely ground mineral salt that contains iodine, magnesium, and calcium, which are the nutrients that support bone, thyroid, and cardiovascular health. You can find these in mineral-rich Celtic salt or an iodized Himalayan salt. Use them sparingly, but consistently, to improve flavor without triggering silent damage to your heart or hormones. Salt no. To number 2, pickling salt. Pickling salt, which is often marketed for home canning and preserving, is far more dangerous than it appears, especially for seniors. This type of salt is stripped of all minerals and intentionally ground into an ultrafine texture that dissolves quickly. That might be helpful for brines, but it comes at a cost, because it's 100% pure sodium chloride with no anti-caking agents or mineral content. It enters the bloodstream rapidly and creates extreme sodium spikes. For seniors, this rapid rise in sodium can overwhelm kidneys that are already less efficient with age. A 2022 study in the American Journal of Nephrology showed that adults over 65 who consumed more than 2 grams of fast-dissolving salt daily experienced a 31% faster decline in kidney filtration rate over 3 years. That means their kidneys aged almost a full decade faster. Pickling salt also lacks iodine, selenium, and magnesium, which are the nutrients that protect the thyroid and nervous system. The result is often symptoms that appear out of nowhere: sudden fatigue, swelling in the ankles, or irregular heartbeat. In women especially, this can mimic signs of menopause or even heart disease, leading to misdiagnosis. And because pickled foods are often acidic, combining them with this type of salt creates a chemical reaction that draws even more sodium into the tissues. Instead of using pickling salt for flavor or homemade ferments, seniors should switch to mineralized salts, like smoked sea salt or naturally dried Himalayan flakes. These are salts that provide not only sodium, but also potassium and magnesium that help stabilize blood pressure and reduce cramping. When fermenting or flavoring, add herbs or potassium-rich vegetables like celery to naturally reduce the sodium absorption in the gut. That's how you preserve not just food, but your health. Salt no. Number 1, standard iodized table salt. This is the most common salt on the planet and also the most misunderstood. Standard iodized table salt is promoted as healthy because it contains iodine, which is important for thyroid function. But the truth is much darker. The iodine in table salt is synthetic potassium iodide, which is a chemical that is added after the salt has been stripped of all its natural minerals. This synthetic iodine is unstable, and the longer the salt sits on shelves or in your kitchen, the less iodine remains. In fact, a 2021 review in Clinical Nutrition Insights found that after 6 months of typical kitchen storage, the iodine content in table salt drops by up to 59%. That means seniors who rely on table salt for iodine are often unknowingly deficient. Worse still, the base salt is 100% refined sodium chloride, which is the form that spikes blood pressure, stiffens arteries, and increases stroke risk. The anti-caking agents added to prevent clumping, such as sodium aluminate, can accumulate in the body, and have been linked to cognitive decline in older adults. One shocking study in neurotoxicology found that seniors with high aluminum intake had a 38% higher rate of developing mild cognitive impairment. Table salt also affects bone density. Without balancing minerals like magnesium and calcium, excess sodium pulls calcium from the bones to maintain blood pH. This leads to silent bone thinning, which increases fracture risk even with small falls. To replace table salt safely, seniors should use iodized mineral salts, like iodine-enriched Himalayan or Celtic salt, which are salts that provide natural trace elements, support thyroid function, and do not contain toxic additives. These salts can be stored in airtight glass containers to preserve iodine, and should be added only after cooking to preserve their nutrient value. This simple swap can help lower blood pressure, protect memory, and improve bone density without giving up flavor. So these were the 4 worst salts. Salts you should never eat after 60. Now, let's reveal the 4 salts you should be eating daily to protect your body, rebuild your strength, and finally take back control of your health. Number salt no. 4. Smoked sea salt. Smoked sea salt, which is created by slowly smoking natural sea salt over wood fires, might seem like a gourmet ingredient, but it carries surprising health benefits for seniors when used correctly. Unlike heavily processed salts, smoked sea salt retains its natural mineral content, including trace amounts of magnesium, calcium, and potassium, which are the minerals that help regulate nerve impulses, maintain muscle strength, and stabilize blood pressure. The unique thing about smoked salt is that it adds rich flavor without the need for excess quantity. Because of its deep, smoky aroma, which is produced from hardwoods like hickory or oak, people naturally use less of it, which helps reduce overall sodium intake without compromising taste. This is particularly helpful for older adults who have reduced taste sensitivity and often oversalt their food without realizing it. A 2021 study in the Journal of Sensory Studies found that using smoked salt in place of table salt reduced daily sodium intake by 18% in